Hello, it's Jo from Emily Cat 176, and today I'm going to talk to you about a show I saw on Saturday. So I travelled down to Mornington, bit of a trek, a couple of buses I had to take, and for people who don't know about Melbourne, there's the CBD, then there's surrounding suburbs, and then there's a peninsula that goes down south, and it's called the Mornington Peninsula, and Mornington is on that peninsula. It's quite crowded. A lot of people live down there. There's Rosebud and all these ones. So in Peninsula there is the Peninsula Music Society, and they perform in Wilson's Road, Mornington. So as I said, 2 buses. And the weather on Saturday was awful. Absolutely awful. Cold wind. When the bus came through Frankston, it went past the bay. The sea was so rough. Lots of white top waves, very rough. I managed to get down there, and like Frankston, Wilson's Road is off Nepean Highway. That's a very busy road. It's the main road down the peninsula. So trying to cross 2 lanes, there's 3 lanes going that way, 3 lanes going the other way. Trying to get over there took me a little bit of time, but I got there. So I saw the Melbourne Chamber Orchestra perform Crystalline Voices, and it was so good. It was so good. Now, I don't know if any of you like chamber music. I do. There is something magical about hearing different string instruments play together. And it was an extra treat because the cello soloist and guest director was, and please excuse my pronunciation because Timo is from Finland, so it's a Finnish name, Timo Valve. I will put it in the description because, as I said, my accents are no good. And he created a program which was wonderful. And it was sort of, because he's got 2 countries, as you said, he's from Finland, and we are very lucky that he now performs in Australia. He's actually the lead cello player for the Australian Chamber Orchestra. And I am going to show you a photograph of the program to show you what was actually performed. Right, so I hope you've had a look at the program. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 violins, 3 violas, 2 cellos plus Timo, and a double bass. Now, I don't know if we saw the whole orchestra. I've got a feeling that maybe we didn't, but it was so good. The music was beautiful. I love the cello, and to me the cello is a very sensual sound. A lot of the cello pieces, there's just something about them. And the violins, to me, are a sweet sound. And when the orchestra was playing and the violins were going and the bows were up in the air. Now, the thing is, if I was to ever play the violin, I would play it left-handed, because I'm left-handed with a lot of things. You never see a left-handed violinist or viola player in an orchestra. They are all right-handed. But anyway, that's just something. So they did works by Ida Moberg, Sherbet. Now, one Gene Sibelius, he actually was a Finnish composer, and this was part of the program that it was, as Timo said, it's connecting his two countries, Finland and now Australia. It was just wonderful. I have to admit, I like classical music. I'm not an expert by any means, because in the string quartet number 8, they mixed up some of the things they did, and I didn't pick it, but I wouldn't, because I said I like the music, but I am no expert when it comes to classical music. For any of you that are, if you look at the program, you will probably know who the composers were more than me. But it was interesting because, as I said, the weather was so bad. At one stage, I could actually hear the rain over the orchestra playing. And when we went out for interval, it was very good of them. I got a cup of tea and a biscuit, which is nice. It was teeming, absolutely teeming rain. And then it came in sideways and there was hail. It was, oh my goodness, we were just all standing there looking at this rain teeming down. And it was still wet when we left. But I was very lucky because I ran into a friend there and she offered to drive me part of the way back, which was very kind of her. Thank you very much, Jill. So, of course, me being me, I talked to the people around me. We all loved it. And this is so good because, as I said, there is a big population in the peninsula. The Melbourne Chamber Orchestra, I would think, would normally perform in the CBD at the concert hall, which is part of the Arts Centre. For people of the peninsula, if they wanted to see them perform, they would have to drive to Frankston, and that could be half an hour, 40 minutes, wherever they're from, and then get a train into the city. A train from Frankston into the city takes a bit over an hour. So that's a long, this is how big, Melbourne's big. It's a big landmass. This is so good that the Chamber Orchestra were willing to come to Mornington, because it allowed all those people in the area, and it was a good crowd. It was a very good crowd, and it was a very appreciative crowd too, to hear beautiful music. So all in all, as I said, I was a bit of a drowned rat when I got home, but it was a beautiful afternoon. As I said, just cello is one of my favourite instruments to listen to, and of course Timo, we are so lucky to have him in this country performing. And violins, as I said, that sweet sound of violins, and they play soft and then they play loud, and then it was just wonderful. So it was a very good day. Let me know if any of you like chamber music. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, and as I said, like there's like the Haydn ensemble. I didn't even know we had a Haydn ensemble. I have seen the Melbourne Chamber Orchestra now, and I have seen the Australian Chamber Orchestra, because I have to admit, I did see Timo perform last year with the Australian Chamber Orchestra, and both of them are so good. And my friend was telling me, Sophie Rowell, who was the lead violinist, she apparently sits second chair in the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra. So she's a very good musician too. They were all good. So yeah, it's if you would like any information about the Melbourne Chamber Orchestra, their website is mco.org.au. Of course, the tickets are a little bit cheaper than the Australian Chamber Orchestra. And in these tough times, as you know, I talk about suburban arts, and this is suburban arts. this is definitely suburban arts. I don't know how many people would be willing to go down to the Peninsula Music Society. As I saw Amir Farid last year. He did one show at Wilson's Road, and the other show he did in Melbourne was at Paris Cat. I think it was Paris Cat in the city, which is a jazz club, of course. So yeah, very good afternoon. Well worth the trek down there. And as I said, I hope you look at their website. Have a look at, I think they probably have a YouTube channel, I think. Have a look at some of their performances. And have a look at chamber music, because as I said, I like all types of music. And I have admitted before, I'm getting into more classical music, but I still love all other sorts of music. But the chamber orchestra, thank you so much for coming down to Mornington and allowing people to see it in their suburbs. This is what you do, and this is what I think a lot of the companies need to do. Go out into the suburbs of our cities, and this is what happens in Melbourne, and we are so lucky that they do. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you to the new subscribers I've got. As I said, I am trying to build the channel, and I will be back on Wednesday with a poem. Okay? Enjoy your week, and I will see you on Wednesday. Bye.